Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair, and just a little bit of a reprise about this curve tracer NI-210SC. The original video I made explaining how to use this was very popular. Yeah, very well received. A lot of you guys didn't know about them, or certainly knew about them but not really how to use one. And during the various comments I read on that video, there's one feature that I missed with this that is actually quite important. Now, the reason I missed the feature is because I've used curve tracers before, the Huntron tracker, the Aneng one, the one that I built, and none of them had this particular feature. It mentioned it in the user sheet, just that one page, gave no indication of what it was for or why it does this. And I didn't really put two and two together until somebody commented. So thanks very much for the comments. First, he said it didn't have this feature. Then he said, correction, it does have this feature, but it wasn't demonstrated. So I'm going to show you now another way in which this is very useful for your repair work. What it mentions in the user sheet is that when you're in single channel mode, this output gives a 5-volt pulse approximately once every second. Okay, that's all it says. Doesn't say any more about that, just tells you that it does. And I can show that on the oscilloscope, which is there. So I'll just connect a lead, one of the test probes, to here. Okay, connect my oscilloscope to the ground lead of the tester. Okay, and then let's have a look at what's on here. And we can see, as it describes in the manual, approximately once every second, we have this 5-volt pulse. Okay, so it does that, but why? Well, this is what somebody told me, and it's correct. This is the third probe. Yeah. What do we use it for? Well, let me show you. If you watched the first video, and if you didn't, well, I've linked it in the video description to this one. Go and have a look. You'll know that this is primarily used as a comparison device. So it's very good if you have two PCBs, one working, one not working, or if you have a PCB with a lot of repetitious circuitry. A good example of that, for example, would be microcontroller unit, where it has buffers driving various outputs or receiving various inputs. So you'll have 6 or 8 buffers in one chip, repetitious, the same circuitry, and you can compare one to another, and they should effectively all be the same as each other. And if they're not, you should investigate. I mean, it may be normal for that PCB, or it may well indicate a fault. But this other use with this third terminal helps you testing devices on the PCB, such as transistors and MOSFETs. Okay, and I'm just going to show you what I mean. So, for example, this is a scrap power supply out of an old TV. Okay, some surface mount, some through hole, and we can see here, these are transistors. Yeah, little transistors, or they could be MOSFETs, even diodes, but they're marked with Q, Q205, Q206, so they are probably transistors. Let's have a look at these first with the multimeter and see if we can test them. So in diode mode, this would normally be the gate or the base. Let's have a look. That just reads open. That has a reading, but it's not a diode junction. Let's go the other way. That reads like a diode, suggests this is a PNP transistor. And that reads like a diode. So black to the base. This looks like a PNP transistor. How about the other one? Well, that reads open. That shows some resistance this way round. Looks like a diode junction. looks like a diode junction. So one PNP and one NPN. That's what we appear to have here. But we're not really testing the transistors. We're checking for things like shorts or strange readings, okay? Let's try the curve tracer now on this. So I'll clip the black lead onto the ground of the PCB. We'll take the red lead. So this is channel 1 on the curve tracer, okay? Let's go to the transistor. So this is the first one. And we see, basically looks like a diode type junction thing, yeah. That is short. That probably is the emitter, which probably connects to the ground anyway. And this one, yeah, shows something like that. So the transistor seems to be turning on in the positive quadrant, basically, yeah. Positive going voltage, positive going current. This one, well, that's interesting. It looks like a musical note. I think that's basically showing that in the positive direction we have current flowing, that's the vertical part, and that funny ellipse is in the negative direction. There's probably a capacitor charging and discharging, okay? Similar sort of thing. And that connects to ground. So, in a way, it's telling us what the multimeter tells us, but this is where the third terminal comes in. So this is connected, the black probe, to channel 2, and we're in single channel mode. So in single channel mode, we know we have a 5 volt pulse on the second channel, approximately once every second. So let's see what happens if we connect here to what we think is the collector. We put this onto the base. Look. So we can see every second the resistance in the positive quadrant goes lower. So as the AC voltage coming in on this one is going more positive, it's conducting more about once every second. That's that pulse doing that, okay? So we can see the transistor is reacting to that. How about this one? Look, it's switching on, off, on, off, okay? Interesting, don't you think? What else do we have here? Here's another device on another PCB. This is an old satellite receiver thing, okay? So, you would think, again, this is the base or the gate. Let's look from here to here. And it gives a reading, but it's not a diode junction. That reads low. Okay, all the way around. That reads low. That looks like a diode junction. From here to here, some strange reading. And possibly a parasitic diode. So that is quite likely to be a MOSFET with some circuitry around it. Let's see how it looks on the curve tracer. So probably the gate. Yeah. We can see it conducts more in one direction after a certain voltage than the other. Seems to turn on in the positive quadrant after a certain point. And that is just like a resistor, okay, to ground. Let's try again with our third probe. So on here, yeah, apply this to the gate. Look, something's happening. It is changing. Can you see? It's reacting in some way. Let's go to this one. Ah, click that. Look at that. Interesting behaviour, that. But we can say the device reacts to a voltage on here related to ground, okay? So it's actually some sort of switch. I suspect this is a MOSFET. It looks like a MOSFET to the multimeter. And I think the way that's behaving in that respect is due to components around it. But we can say it reacts, yeah? So some sort of switching device. Can we see what this is from the part number? Let's have a look if we can even read it. Yes, it's marked as 3L. Let's see if we can find a datasheet for that. The best way I've found to get datasheets for these sort of things is to put in SMD code, then 3L in this case, and then the package, which is SOT23. It helps if you recognize the package, okay? Enter. Well, something is coming up here on all datasheets. I also have here from the AI, okay, 3L SOT23, small outline transistor. Is he going to tell me what it is? Well, it suggests it's a BC858C transistor. There's a PNP. I'm not sure that actually is what it is. This could be a case of artificial stupidity rather than artificial intelligence, but who knows? I often make the same mistake, so take from that what you wish. Okay, let's look on this one, SOT3L. What does this think it is? Doesn't actually tell us on that. Let's try another link. Well, Mouser and DigiKey, I think I saw somewhere, suggesting SST505 or SST501. Yeah, this is a current regulated diode. Okay. The application doesn't really seem to suit the PCB I found it on. The pinout certainly does. It does read rather strange. I seem to see one junction only between there and there. Okay. And this is actually in quite a strange way, as we can see. So it could be that one, but we do know that it was reacting. So that then, guys, is another use for this. Thank you very much for the subscriber who mentioned it, causing me to do a little bit of research and a little bit of just understanding what it was trying to tell me anyway. Okay, so I've learned something this time, as well as hopefully some of you guys. To me, this just makes this even more useful, yeah? Even more useful. There's many a time when I'm probing around a PCB and I'm thinking, well, is it a transistor? It looks like one on the multimeter. Does it work? Is it any good? And without unsoldering the device and sticking it onto my component analyzer, this will give me another backup, more information. And you know what? When you're trying to fix stuff, the more information you have, the more likely you are to succeed. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that one too. Get into the comments down there. Let me know. I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.